Hello friends, hola amigos, and welcome to this new dashcam video. So Tiesfong sent me this dashcam in order to show it on my channel, but as always I show you my honest opinion. So as you can see, it is a dashcam with multiple cameras. You have one front camera, two side cameras, and you even got a rear camera. Now front and rear is quite common, but side cameras is original. This setup is a first for me. I was afraid that it was a little bit bulky. It is less bulky than I expected, but still you can see it is quite big. So in the front we can see the radar. That's an original approach as well. So it has a radar that can detect movement in proximity of the car. So that's nice. So as always we have the sockets. On the rear we have the display, quite big, so it should be easy to use. We have a physical button to control the radar. We have an off position, on, and position 2. We have physical buttons as well, and on the top we have a USB-C power inlet, the SD card, a mini jack for the rear. That's the first time you see this as well. Normally this is a mini USB, and now we have a mini jack as well for the GPS. So this is the rear camera. As always, you can turn this around easily. And there is a 5-meter long cable with it. Then there's also this GPS module. So GPS is available, but it isn't integrated in the dashcam itself. And then there is a Hardwire kit. Of course, all cameras with parking surveillance have to be hardwired. So this is the kit. Now on the Hardwire kit itself, we also have a control button where you can set the battery protection level. So there's a 11.8, 12 volt and 12.2 volt that you can select with a physical switch. So the cable is short, so you have to install it next to your dashcam. Personally, I would prefer to have a Hardwire kit hide near the fuse box, as this is a setting you won't do very often. And there's the cable. Then here we have the power cords. So it is really nice that it comes with fuses, but there's a small problem here, is that it comes with this kind of fuses. So in my car I don't have these fuses, so I will have to cut this off. That's a shame. You can remove this connector and you can connect it with the OBD connector as well. So that's really plug and play, but it is optional. You have to buy it separately. And then you have the two cables for the power itself. So normally the red one is for the continuous power and the yellow one for the accessory. Here it is the other way around, but it is clearly indicated. The yellow one is for the continuous power, and it even has its own fuse. Now you can order as well this optional CPL filter. so it works better in bright sunlight. So let's put it on top. Here it says turn, hold and release with an arrow, but it doesn't really do anything. You can use a little screw to fix it in place, but it already holds quite well by itself. Now of course the front camera can be turned to adapt the angle of your windshield, and the side cameras can also be turned to adjust the angle, and they can also be turned sideways. Now as always, you have to find the best position for your dash cam, like over here, but it will sit quite low, so it will be hard to manipulate the controls. You can position it right over there in front of the driver, which usually works best as it is the driver that controls the buttons as well. Or you can just position it on the other side. As it has side cameras, you always should be aware that the side cameras could get their image, so if you hide it too close to this panel, the side cameras will be obstructed. But as always, before choosing the right position of the dashcam, you should wire it, connect it to the application to have the image on the screen, and this way you can choose the best position of the dashcam. So first I will install the rear camera and bring the cable up front. Then I will do the Hardwire kit and then the installation of the dashcam. Now the rear camera doesn't come with electrostatic stickers, so you can simply stick it on top of your windshield. Always make sure to avoid the heating lines, because if you remove the camera, those could break and the heating will no longer work. If you want to know how to hide the cable correctly as I did here, please check out the video. As positioned, for now I just try to hit the camera between the two lines, but we can adjust the angle once it is wired up. Now we'll bring the cable in front. Okay, the Hardwire kit is connected as well. As you can see, my yellow wire goes to a red wire, but as I told before, normally it is the red that is continuous and yellow for accessory. If you want to find out in detail how to do this, you can find this video where I explain in detail how to hardwire any dashcam. But in the Tiesfong manual they also address this topic in a lot of details. It's the first time I see that much detail about how to wire a dashcam. So, well job, Tiesfong. And last thing, I installed the GPS module right over there. Now I've got my 3 cables and I can hook up the dashcam itself. Then we can pick the right position. So I will start with the GPS and the rear camera. Now we can wire the dashcam itself. And we have image. Please format the SD card. We go to format SD card, okay. And it's done.
Video start.
Now I have all the 4 cameras right here, but I think especially now we should look for the best place that the side cameras aren't obstructed. So right here would be the best place, so I can install the electrostatic sticker. Now they never give you a tool like this with it, but it is really handy to apply the sticker, or you can use a credit card or some, but to apply the sticker and remove all the air bubbles. Now the camera is installed, you can adjust the angle. Now we only have to adjust the rear angle and we're all set.
Video start.
We have quite some information on the screen itself. We've got all the options that are activated. We have the recording information and the menu options. So we can try to toggle around the screen. So we have the front view and the 2 side views. Now I have front and back view, the two side views, front view only. Maybe I should twist it a little bit lower like this. Only the rear view and the four views together again. So now let's go to the menu, settings, okay. Recording mode is in 2K and 3 times 1080. Infrared is to auto, loop time is 3 minutes, mic is set on, the G sensor, okay. Let's set this to medium. And what we have again, watermarks, okay. Let's go to the system. Wi-Fi is on, screen safe. 30 seconds. Okay. Language English. Device tones. The key beep. I always hate key beeps. Voice prompt, power off and on sound. So let's turn that off as well. So I only want to be prompted if something happens. The time settings. You can set your own license plate here. Okay, license plate off. Let's go back. GPS on, GPS status. You can verify how much satellites it has. Speed unit, kilometers an hour. You can calibrate the speed as well. Well, that's it for the settings.
Video start.
Compared to my other dashcam, I don't think it is that visible. Speaking for the dashcam itself, but there again, the white sticker is way too visible. The dashcam itself, you have a little LED blinking light that isn't that well visible at daytime, but that shows that the dashcam is recording. Then on the front there's a little LED light as well, right over here, that shows red as soon as the radar is activated. And then here on the Hardwire box you also have a light. That's really handy though. It's green if the car has enough power to make the parking surveillance work. If the battery drops below the level you set here, so now this set to the 11.8 volt position, this light turns red and you know that the parking surveillance option doesn't work. Installing the application is really easy. You scan the QR code and then you simply follow the steps in the installation wizard to add your dashcam. So here you can see the front camera. I can switch to the back camera and I can switch inside the car. You can see I have GPS signal. Then I have settings on the right, but as you can see it is quite limited. I can enable or disable the audio recording, can set the time spent from 1 minute video, 2 minute video, a 3 minute video. The metric system, I can change the sensibility of my collision detection, Wi-Fi password. I can reset the SD card and I can return to the default settings.
Video start.
I can take a picture. Can pause recording.
Start.
Here I can also see my location. And then most important, of course, is the album view. So in the top you can see it is on raster, but I can also go to timeline, but the timeline functionality is a paid version. When I switch to it, as soon as I want to do something, it brings me to a website for a paid formula. So let's see here, I was waiting as the road was blocked. This is the front camera image. You can see the back camera image as well. Note how the license plates are good visible. And then we have the side view, and that's nice as it stitches both images together directly. So that's a really nice feature. You directly have the inside view. Let's see as well the front view. Really nice image quality. Everything is good visible. The rear side as well. For a rear camera, I think the quality is quite good. And then the inside. Now then we also have a moment. So I think those are the pictures. Then we have locked. As soon as it locks an image, you will hear a small beep sound. So that's a signal that it locks the video in place. So that's when the G sensor senses a movement. So like here, it is quite rough terrain, so if you drive quick, you can see every details in the lower left corner. So 40 kilometers an hour on this road, it's quite bumpy. In the rear view again. It's already great. And then we have the parking surveillance option. So that's where the radar senses something in front of the car. And as you can see, it recorded all the time, because here you can see I have footage from the full period where the car was parked. This is a way to see how well the cameras work at night time, of course. So without any light outside, it's really dark behind my house. The camera inside view is really good with the infrared camera. And let's go further back. Sunset, how the camera quality performs. So like here at the supermarket, I wasn't parked next to any car, but there was a sign just in front of the car. Everything is well visible. Now the last thing we're going to check is the download speed of this dashcam. So let's try to download this clip. And the clip is downloaded. I can check the downloaded files right over here. You can see here again with the paid VIP version, you can download to the drive as well, the Google Drive. This view is very nice though. You can see where the car drove with a city map from Apple Maps. And a really nice overlay with the G sensor, the speed I drove. So this I have to say I really like, and the image quality is fabulous. And here I can also download it to the album of my telephone itself. I can cut the image right here, add music, so that's a nice option as well. So here again, let's download the rear video. Of course, that should be a lot quicker as it only films in 1080. So here the same overlay. Now I've been testing this Tiesfong dashcam for a couple of weeks now, and I have to say I'm quite impressed. I was a little bit afraid about the size of the dashcam with all those cameras, but installed on the windscreen it isn't that much more noticeable than a classical dashcam, and the effect that you have thanks to the side cameras is really cool, and the way it stitches the images together automatically is really handy. Now this camera works with a radar with 3 positions, so you have the off, 1 and 2nd position, and this is for the sensibility of the radar. But I noticed that it captures almost everything as soon as you're stationed next to a fence, a wall, or car, which is almost always the case. After the first week I discovered that I had 100 gigabytes of parking surveillance video with useless footage and only 1 hour of driving footage. So I ended up by disabling the radar function and put it on the off position to have all my driving footage. But know that the parking surveillance will be disabled completely. So even the G sensor only works if you have the radar on 1 or 2. So I think this is an option that you should activate when you park the car somewhere that you have your doubts about the security, and otherwise you put it on off and you have more driving footage. I discussed with Tiesfong and they will take it up with the engineers to see if you can limit the folder size and limit like the parking surveillance folder to a certain amount of gigabytes, so you have a more equal division with driving footage and parking surveillance footage. A really great thing is a folder structure, so you have the front, rear and inside videos in separate folders, but they don't only have a timestamp, but they also have a number behind it. So it's really easy to find the rear and inside videos that goes with the front image. So for who is this dashcam? Well, I think if you're really into capturing the most images in your car, so front, rear and inside, it is a cool feature. For professional drivers or Uber driver, taxi drivers, I think it would be great. If you're a vlogger, it could be awesome as well. But even for regular drivers, the idea that you have the inside image as well, you really capture the car at 360 degrees all the time. If you're in the market for this dashcam, please check out my voucher code and you will even get a $25 reduction. Let me know in the comments what you think about this dashcam. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the very next video. Bye bye.